Welcome everyone to the Garage After Dark. We're going to be reviewing AEW Wrestledream. Without further ado, let's get into it.
We're clear for takeoff.
That's all systems go. We need that AEW logo up. Stat.
You're watching the AEW Network.
Well, good evening, everybody. We have just concluded watching AEW Wrestledream 2024. It is after midnight here on the East Coast. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am the effing expert, Mr. Isaacs. I am living La Vida Loca here.
Yeah.
And go ahead and introduce yourself, Mr. Co-host.
And I am the patron saint of professional wrestling. I am that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. I'm Canada effing dry, damn it. And I'd like to give a shout out to my good friend, Bad Take Kate. The guy's got the worst takes all around. And if this is something about the fall, is that at least it's not light while you guys are experiencing midnight.
No, I don't. I've never experienced light at midnight.
No, I know that there's some.
No. What I'm saying is that if sometimes out west it would be sun shining for us, so it wasn't really after dark. Yeah. But you guys were.
Yeah, there's a thing called midnight sun, I think, in certain countries in certain parts of the year, right?
Yeah, that's like the northern hemisphere of North.
Yeah,
America.
like Norway and Sweden, those places.
And
yeah.
Yukon and Alaska.
It's funny that you say midnight sun, because a couple years ago when I went on a mission trip out to North Dakota, like it was still sunny at like 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, really?
Like it was very dim. It was like that twilight sun.
You know those heathens in North Dakota? They need to hear about the message of Jesus.
No, like
when you think of raucous people, you think of the people of North Dakota.
We're gonna go on a missions trip to save those heathens.
No, we went out to help the Lakota tribe.
Oh, okay.
So like my group, little sidetrack, but we went out and we built a handicap ramp for a lady who was in a wheelchair who had been stuck in her house for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
And she had like no legit way to get out. So we built her a nice handicap ramp.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
GM Joe, the American hero himself.
It's nice to know we got legit good people.
Yes. This is one of the best right here. Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
I am Commissioner Joe, a.k.a. the EVP of everything that is all effing wrestling. And I must say, as the commissioner of our AFW Prediction League, I dare say we started the year off with a bang. I think there's going to be some interesting results when I get them out tomorrow or later.
Yeah.
Did we not have like 100% people?
Yeah, we had like the first time I ever recall seeing everyone who was in our league picked tonight.
Oh, good. That's wonderful. Yeah.
So like, I would say this is like a soft reboot of the league.
Yeah.
After our kind of a rough go of the last quarter of the season, a little bit more than a quarter of the season, we were kind of struggling there. And we really needed that offseason to just come. So we can rebuild and reboot, redo everything. So we're good now.
Said this is the revenge tour.
Yeah.
Another R word that is definitely defines us is resiliency, if I do say so myself.
Absolutely.
We've had a few attacks on the effing wrestling AFW brand, and you can knock us down, but we're getting right back up.
Dare I say?
Hell, dare I say that someone we originally started AFW, and someone stole the league from us.
I remember hearing the story. Yeah.
And so because I let him run it. So he stole it and kicked me out, and I had to start a fresh, brand new league.
It has been a crazy 4 years.
Is that imposter league still in operation?
No, it died.
Well, good riddance.
We would be remiss. I know we're supposed to talk wrestling, but our Facebook community group hit 10K members today.
Yeah. 10,000 members for the AFW community group on Facebook, which if you're not a part of it, go join.
Yes.
And how nice that Natalia Markova was one of the first people to say congratulations.
Yeah. NWA wrestler Natalia Markova, friend of the channel.
We all know the story. Without her, there's no us right now.
Well, exactly. Like, you take a schmuck like me,
Uh,
and, you know, some beautiful wrestler tells you can do it, that they believe in you. And you're like, well, if she believes in me, I can maybe I can pull this off. That's exactly what it felt like. It's like, well, if she thinks I can, maybe I can.
If she's saying yes, who am I to say no?
Well, exactly.
how did you even get to know Markova?
Why not tell that story? So she had just posted this. This was COVID break, and so she wasn't wrestling. She wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
So she had posted this Shawn Michaels belt picture covering her top and her bottom, and she was naked underneath.
His infamous Playgirl photo.
Yeah.
All right.
And so I made a comment, and I was like, yeah, this is awesome. And I was like, and I just messaged her, and I said, hey, you know, I think this is awesome. And I checked out some of your matches, and I think you're awesome. And I was like, would it be possible to be friends? And she's like, yeah, that I could see that. And then that's just.
All right. That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
So
I mean, there's not many people out there.
Yeah, I just shoot my shot saying, can we be friends? And
that's really cool, man. For real. That's really cool. Yeah, I don't think I can't remember if I'd ever asked you that before. So that's good knowledge to have.
And that's the thing is, if you can hit a wrestler before they're famous,
yeah,
you get to go on the ride with them.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. You guys know why we're here. We're here to talk about this 18-hour long Wrestledream. That's why we're going on the air after midnight here. Shout out to Tiffany. How we doing?
What's up, Tiffany?
She called you both sweethearts. I want you.
Yeah, so it's for the records, but really, we know who she's really talking to.
Yep.
One of the three. She's talking to Commissioner Joe.
I hear she wants to legit wrestle you, Mr. Isaacs.
Legit wrestle me? That's kind of frightening.
Yeah.
All right. Well, she's
well,
welcome.
You got the jiu-jitsu skills. You can take her.
Come up to the jiu-jitsu gym here in Frankfurt, and we can arrange for that to happen. I was telling GM Joe in the chat, I got legit bulldog choked the other night. John Moxley's bulldog choke. One of the blue belts did that to me the other night. So that wasn't very pleasant.
So why don't we go over the pre-show?
Yep. Pre-show, we had 3 matches here. We had Harley Cameron and Anna Jay, which Anna Jay won. The MXM Collection against the Acclaimed. Of course, you guys know who won that. The Acclaimed. And Atlantis Jr. against Brian Cage. And we've got Brian Cage winning the ROH television title.
It's about
time. Like, I just watched his promo on Instagram, and he was so excited. He's like, it's about time. Well, like, good on this guy. He's just a trooper, and we're big supporters of Brian Cage here on this podcast.
This guy's money. I mean, like, absolutely. This guy's got the look. He's got the skill. He's charismatic. I mean, like, I don't see why it took them this long to put a singles title on Brian Cage. I really don't.
The only thing I really think is he was doing really well, and then his wife said some shit.
Yeah.
And then he was knocked down for a while. Wasn't even booked for a long time. And then they re-upped his contract, and he was shocked. Really, they want me back.
Speaking of Melissa Santos, hasn't she been signed to AEW for like months?
Yeah, so
where the hell's she at?
I think she's an interviewer backstage, right?
No,
I have no idea. I haven't seen
her.
The same with Alicia Atout, or however you say her last name.
Yeah,
MJF
Alicia Atout, MJF's girlfriend.
Yep.
Yeah. I haven't seen Melissa Santos yet in AEW. I haven't seen her.
She might be a part of the Ring of Honor deal.
That's possible. I don't watch the Ring of Honor show, so I don't know. Maybe she's part of that.
Maybe they'll be part of the potential Fox show.
I like how she was the Lucha Underground ring announcer. And she would always say, "The following lucha is scheduled for one fall." I always like that. Lucha instead of match.
But let me just say this about this pre-show. This was a good pre-show. Anna Jay and Harley Cameron.
You almost called her Harley Quinn. You came close.
I did. But they looked really good. Anna Jay looked really good. These two are the hot. I think these two are the hottest in AEW, like the most attractive. These two.
I would throw Mariah May in with that group.
Oh yeah, definitely Mariah May.
Sky Blue is my choice. But yeah.
Sky Blue.
Yeah.
Julia Hart. You got? Would you say that would be the top? All those?
That would be the four horsewomen of attractiveness, probably in AEW. Yeah.
And then I'll tell you what.
Not that that's all we value. The wrestling ability.
Let's just say.
Yeah. Can I tell a little story about this real quick?
In 1 second, just let me finish this. So, if I was the last pick in that, like, if I got to, I'd still be a winner.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, really? I only get Anna Jay? Oh.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Go ahead, Joe. What were your thoughts?
So I'm sitting here, we're watching the pre-show, right? And out comes Anna Jay and out comes Harley Cameron. I got my wife sitting next to me and my two kids sitting over here. And they're like, why aren't they wearing anything? My wife is having second thoughts about letting my son watch the show.
Well, Anna Jay's booty is just sticking out half the time.
So is Harley Cameron's.
Anna Jay's is more noticeable. She's got that plump rump.
I've had incidents like that before. Like a long time ago, like over a decade ago, I was watching TNA, and like there was like a Velvet Sky interview. I think it was The Beautiful People, and my mom and my ex were both in the room, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I see why you like to watch this shit," and I'm like. Well, I think they're good wrestlers, and I think they perform well. And
they didn't buy anything you were saying.
And they're like, "Oh yeah, sure, you like their wrestling." Okay, it's not that they're sitting there naked. No, that's not it. Like they totally didn't believe me at all. Neither one of them.
And from a woman's perspective, do you blame them?
No, I totally get where they're coming from.
It's like that meme that was on Facebook of like the old SmackDown versus Brawls where like when you're by yourself, it's a picture of Rikishi, but when someone walks in, it's a loading screen of Trish.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Noob with Natalia Markova still has a great peach. What is he trying to say?
Looks like a peach, yeah. Millennial Noob. I still want to know when Noob entered the new millennium. That's what I want to know.
Isn't he like 20 years late for this new millennium?
Yeah. The millennium technically started in 2001, which was the year I graduated high school.
Also, I will say there was a fourth pre-show match.
What was the other one?
8-man tag match between the conglomeration.
Right.
Oh, yeah. And that one's not even listed here for some reason.
Probably because it was added at the last.
So I'm guessing Millennial Noob found out that he's a millennial.
Noob, how old are you, buddy? If you don't mind me asking. Are you a millennial? Or are you Gen Z?
I'm guessing he's a millennial.
Because if he's a millennial, he's got to be like around my age. Mine and Joe's age. We're millennials.
33.
Millennial.
So
that's like probably at the very tail end of what would be considered millennial. Yeah.
Because he's 6 years younger than me. I was born in 85, so that means he's born in 91.
Yeah.
So he's getting towards the end of millennial to whatever they call
Z.
it.
Yeah.
Just let him be a millennial. Come on, guys. He put
Gen Z is like all the like 20 somethings and all the like 18 to like 30 would be like Gen Z.
It's funny that like everyone's like, oh, Gen Z, like I feel like I'm more Gen X. Like I relate with them more than I do my own people. So
Yeah. I think I got a lot of millennial qualities. Older millennial. I'm like at the high end of millennial. I'm almost on the cusp of Gen X. So,
yeah, like we are sort of like the blend of the two.
they call them cuspers. They're right on the cusp.
Yeah, that's what I say. I say you're nothing but a dirty little cusper.
I'm just a dirty little cusper. Better than a bastard, but you know that's
Dry, what are you a cusper of? Baby boomers and what came after that? No.
You sanctimonious son of a bitch.
The greatest generation.
Well, I don't even know what comes after the baby boomers.
The greatest generation.
You know, people have been trying to figure out how old I am for years, and I haven't told anyone.
Yeah, the parents of the boomers are the greatest generation. So.
I think we should make a deal. When our YouTube channel hits a certain number, that's when you come on here and reveal your age to the world.
I'll think about that. I'm not going to say no. I'll think about that.
Can I guess?
Give us something to reach, like to strive for.
Well, I don't think we should guess because what's the point of that?
Oh, come on.
In other words, Canada Dry doesn't want us hurting his feelings.
He's shy about his age. Come on now.
No. It's about the mystique. You ruin the mystique, you ruin everything. That's all I got.
Okay. We'll find out how dry Canada Dry is one day.
One day.
All right. I guess we should go ahead and get into the.
I will say this though. I am younger than JFB.
You're younger than JFB. Okay.
I'm younger than
JFB said he was like, I think he said he was 54 or something like that.
No, I think he's 51.
51. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, they did mention after the they didn't have it in the graphic, but they did mention after the Anna Jay versus Harley Cameron match that they did have the Madden and Mansoor with Rico. But how cool was it to see Rico back when they faced the Acclaimed? I guess we need to talk about that for a quick second before we move on.
Yeah, Rico, he looked great. And Rico was part of that Chuck Palumbo
Chuck, Billy and Chuck
wedding sort of thing. So I don't really remember that. Was he like the third wheel? That was
he was their manager.
Yeah, he was their manager.
Okay.
Rico Constantino. Yeah. I heard him on Kenny Boland's podcast a couple years ago, and he was talking about how he was working in Nevada as a police officer.
Still looks like in impeccable shape.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
and it makes
so
sense.
Is this just a one-off?
I'd say it's probably a one-off.
Yeah,
I doubt they hired him full time. I doubt it.
Maybe they'll look to bring him back.
Cade said that Rico also managed 3-minute warning.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
I remember that as well.
Yep.
I thought that was Bischoff's thing.
Well, Bischoff was
introduced them.
Yeah, he was the general manager. Like he would use them to come out and attack people.
3-minute warning was his heavies, basically.
Yeah.
But Rico, I don't think he was called Rico at the time. Was he?
I don't remember.
I think he had a different name. But
it's a long time ago, gentlemen.
Wrestling lore is what it is.
Long time ago.
That was what, early 2000s? So what, 20 years ago?
Yeah. Yeah, solid 20 years ago. Anyways, the Acclaimed beat MXM, of course, because everybody loves the Acclaimed, right?
Everybody loves Anthony Bowens.
Yeah.
Nobody loves the Acclaimed.
No. Not anymore.
No.
I can't think of a bigger fall from grace than the Acclaimed. Like, they were so hot like a year and a half ago, and now it's cringe anytime they walk out on TV.
It's run. What I don't get is they're still over with a live crowd. Like
I know.
I think it's because they're not really over. They're just kind of like they're kind of over because fans want to cheer because you're there.
Can I say his rap sucked tonight?
I wonder if he took away Billy Gunn, if they'd still be as over.
No, probably not.
Because they probably get a bit of a nostalgia boost pop.
I still say that the reason why they're so floundering right now is because they are the ones who should have went heel in that Bang Bang Scissor Gang thing.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
because it seems like that's where they're going anyways.
Speaking of Bang Bang Scissor Gang, hey, great segue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a match number 1 on the pay-per-view here. Jay White versus Hangman Adam Page. This is a pretty hot opener. I like
Hell
this
yeah,
match.
it was.
This is really, really good. It was brutal. The fans were conflicted, chanting fuck you, cowboy, and then the other half chanted cowboy shit. So you got two different derogatory chants, one positive and one negative.
When the crowd was chanting, like, they were alive, but there were some times where they were just sitting on their hands like it's their job.
We'll get to that. Yes, I mean, there's only so much energy you can have in an 18-hour program.
First match, though.
No, I'm saying the first match was hot. Like later, he's talking about later in the show, they were kind of dead a little bit. But yeah, this was a really, really good match. I thought Page was going to win this because of the fact that he went over Swerve last time around, who was a world champion. And I thought that'd be more logical, but Jay White ends up getting the victory here. But this was a damn solid match. Crowd was hot for it. I'm really a fan of both of these guys. I'm a really big fan of Jay White, but I like Adam Page a lot too. Commissioner Joe, what did you think of this match?
I thought, like, this was like the perfect way to start the main card off. Like, just a nice little, like, interpersonal battle. I'm gonna say, like, I just want to talk about the end because the only thing that's gonna stick out for me for this match was that counter of the buckshot into the Blade Runner. My God, that was so awesome.
Yeah,
but I did pick Jay White to win because the way I look at it, like, if Jay White loses this, his revenge tour is basically dead in the water. And the way I looked at it is Page has done so much, like, he could eat one loss and it's really not that big a deal. It's not going to, if anything, it's just going to make his character that much better because he's going to go that much more off the deep end.
Right. Well, that makes sense. Can't have a draw.
I was really entertained by this match. Jay White is coming into his own here in AEW. I think that time away was really good for him, actually, because he could actually just come in refreshed, like a fresh version of himself. And he definitely needed this win because he's coming off an injury. He's coming off, and to keep his character strong, he needed this win. So it was perfect booking, in my opinion. Yeah, like Joe said, Hangman could take a one-off loss, and as long as you keep him back on a winning streak after this, it's no big deal.
Would you guys like for me to share the Bleacher Report ratings for each of these matches?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Bleacher Report gave this match an A-. So
why don't we also? What do we give it?
I don't want to grade every single match. We'll grade the whole show at the end.
Okay.
I'll just give you the Bleacher Report grade for each match. I had to think too much to go back and be like, the third match of like 800, like what kind of rating to give it?
But we just
because then you would have to do the math at the end of what.
Yeah, that's gonna get too messy. Match number 2, we had Mariah May versus Willow Nightingale. I really enjoyed this match a lot too. I thought this was dope. Mariah May and Willow Nightingale are two fantastic talents. They are two young women who are going to, God willing, if they stay healthy, they're gonna put on some great matches over the next few years, and this is one of them. I thought this was fantastic. Mariah May, like, her aggression and you can tell she's worked at Stardom. like she doesn't come across, she's very pretty, but she doesn't come across as like a diva. You know, like, she can really work. She can really wrestle. Of course, Willow has a great style. That cannonball that she did in the corner against May just looked vicious because she looks like she's 3 times the size of May. So yeah, that had to spring her head back a little bit, I'm sure. Really good match though. I enjoyed it. Canada F and Dry, what do you think of this match?
I really enjoyed it. I didn't have any belief that Willow was going to win at any point in this match.
I didn't either. No.
But I don't think that they can do anything about that. Like, it's really tough to sell that idea.
Yeah.
To me, Willow has reached her ceiling.
You think so?
I don't think she's ever going to be the women's world champion.
Ever? Okay.
I think she's going to be the TBS champion again. I think this is as high as she'll go. I just don't see it. Especially when you got like some guys climbing up the ladder. I'm shocked that like Statlander hasn't been women's world champion. Like she's an OG, so like I think she should be champion before Willow for sure.
All right, Commissioner Joe.
Yeah, I thought this match was great, and this is the first women's pay-per-view match in a while that I remember where they didn't fall flat after a men's match. Like they held their own out there. I think Willow showed she more than belongs in the main event scene. And I don't know if I agree with Canada Dry that she'll never be world champion.
I don't either. I think she will be eventually. Yeah.
But I do agree there is a list of women. Like if they can really get this booking together, it has the ability to be the best women's roster in North America. I won't say they're better than Stardom because that's just asinine to say. But I think North American roster. But yeah, I enjoyed the match. Mariah May, as usual, looks phenomenal.
Yep.
So
she's a star.
Oh, absolutely.
She's absolutely a star.
Let me just clarify. If Willow is the women's champion, I believe AEW is making a huge mistake.
Okay. See, I could see Willow having that old school Bailey kind of charm. I could see that.
But I don't think she needs the world championship to do that.
All right.
If you like, to me, it's all about sex appeal. As a world, like both Toni Storm and Mariah May both have it. And if you can get someone like Anna Jay into that world title spot, that's going to sell tickets.
I think Anna Jay should be the one that takes the TBS title off of Mercedes. I think that's how much Anna Jay has improved over the last year and a half.
You think she's that much better?
Yes, I think she has improved. Like that tour that she did in Japan, even a couple months ago, has shown she's improved.
We are there are women's champions that I don't think use sex appeal, like Nia Jax, for example. I think she gets over being just a big badass woman.
Okay, do you think Nia Jax? I'm sure she's a really nice person, but do you think Nia Jax is over with the fans in any way?
I mean, she gets booed.
Yeah, but is she getting go home heat? Like go away? Like,
I don't watch SmackDown, so I don't know what she. How?
Yeah, like I feel like she's just there to be the big girl and just crush people. And,
I know she used to get that.
Yeah.
And honestly, for the longest time, I really think she was only there because of who she was related to.
Yeah.
And the timing of her return is kind of funny too, right?
I'm not gonna sit here and say I think she's a great wrestler. I think she's okay at best. I think Willow's a better wrestler than her.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I don't think that every women's champion has to have like sex appeal. You know, I think you can have a big, strong woman sometimes.
You can, but that's what's got that. I think like that's if you have charisma and are beautiful, that's money.
It helps for sure. Yeah. All right. Well, Bleacher Report gave that a B+. This match, so pretty good rating so far. We go to Jack Perry versus Katsuyori Shibata. And God, Shibata looks amazing in this match. Like his technical wrestling and just like this was a really good match. I enjoyed it. I'm not a Jack Perry fan, as you guys know, but I thought this was a really good match, and the crowd was pretty hot for it. And I don't like the way it ended, but I guess I don't know if I thought maybe they were like setting it up for Shibata to get a rematch, but then like a million things happened after the match, so I'm not exactly sure at this point. But for anybody that didn't see it, Shibata had a rear naked choke on Jack Perry, and his shoulders were down, and Jack Perry was on top of him, so he got the pin and won the match. He proceeds to beat down Shibata, and Daniel Garcia comes out for the save. And after Daniel Garcia comes out for the save, MJF comes out, and MJF and Garcia get into it, and MJF beats up Garcia after Jack Perry hits him in the back of the head with the championship. And we see Adam Cole come back.
We just had all the returns at once.
Chases off MJF. Now, I will tell you the one problem I have with this booking. This is the one big problem I have with this. Their number one angle for half a year last year was heel Adam Cole, the devil, going up against babyface MJF. And all of a sudden now, a year later, we're just flip-flopped. Now Adam Cole's supposed to be the good guy, and MJF is the big evil heel.
Well,
I hate that. I hate
it. Did a brainbuster to him at Dynasty.
I know. But I hate it. You don't spend half a year doing this.
Well,
and
you know what this is? I really feel this has to do with the removing of Jimmy Jacobs.
You think so?
I really do. I feel like they're disregarding a lot of the stories that Jimmy Jacobs came up with, and they're starting fresh with this.
I don't know. I thought that was ridiculous. I don't like it. I thought they really, really, really dropped the ball on the MJF Devil Adam Cole thing. I
think they're just cutting their losses on that and moving on because it just was
injuries just completely screwed that story. Obviously, I will say though, I'm glad that they brought Adam Cole back as a face because he's going to get that natural face reaction. And if this was WWE, Adam Cole would have came out and cut the most generic cookie cutter heel. You all forgot about me while I was gone. That's why I hate you BS that everyone cuts in the WWE and I can't stand. So,
all right. So we need to do a drinking game, okay? Where we do a shot every time GM Joe bashes WWE when we review an AEW show.
I can't take it anymore, Joe.
It's like every time I say something critical of any kind of booking, he's like, yeah, but do you remember when WWE did XYZ and how awful that was?
I agreed with you. I said it does suck that they dropped the ball on the whole devil story. I think that could have been executed better.
I'm teasing you, brother. I'm teasing you. Well, what'd you think of the match, Joe? Did you like the match?
Oh, absolutely. Like like you said, Shibata looked phenomenal. Like even just he looks cut. Like I was sitting there like, where's this Shibata been? Like he's just standing there jacked and like just Perry couldn't touch him. I agree with you. I hate the ending, especially because Shibata's shoulder wasn't down.
I know it was like slightly off the canvas, but they said he was down.
Yeah. I said I would love to see Shibata get a rematch, but like you said, with everything that happened afterwards, this just screams a filler match to get to everything we're going to get.
I'm afraid Shibata's going back to Ring of Honor now. Canada Dry, what'd you think?
Yeah, I thought it was a really entertaining match. Again, no doubt in my mind that Jack Perry was walking away with this.
Yeah, I had no doubt either.
But what is interesting is that Shibata loses in a controversial way. He doesn't get a clean victory. And it seems like this is kind of a theme for Jack Perry because he did this with Ishii.
Yeah.
With that count out. So maybe this is Jack's idea. Just like, I don't care how I win, as long as I win.
I mean, it's
Perhaps.
definitely different than just being an out and right coward heel who constantly is using foreign objects. I mean,
I like how Bleacher Report's notable moments and observations. Their number one note is we didn't get a video of Perry's bus arriving like we usually do.
The bus didn't make it. It fell apart.
I'm surprised we didn't either. I mean, but you're right. It probably broke down in Missouri on its way to Washington.
Bleacher Report gives us a B plus. So, all right.
That's a fair grade.
Yeah, I think so. All right, we got Will Ospreay versus Ricochet versus Konosuke Takeshita. My God, you talk about the throw the kitchen sink at you match. It was this. These three guys did everything humanly possible. Ricochet and Ospreay. They got to quit overdoing the synchronized. We're flipping and then we stop and do a samurai pose and look at each other. Like they need to
At least
quit.
they did something different this time. They both got their heads kicked off.
Yeah, that was funny. They did that, and then Takeshita came in and just double kicked them both in the head. That was pretty funny.
I think my favorite thing is like Don Callis on commentary is like, we scouted that. Well, no shit. It's played 50,000 times every time they're mentioned.
It's every Ospreay Ricochet match that they've ever had.
We scouted that.
But yeah, this was a fun match. Takeshita, man, he's such a hard hitter. Like he looked like he beat the shit out of them. I love it. He reminds me of a young Okada. I'm a big fan of this guy. I like Takeshita. I think he's got it in the ring. I think he's got the look. I think he's got star power. He's got a great manager to speak for him. I think the sky's the limit for the kid.
Again,
really
this speaks of Jimmy Jacobs leaving AEW because they didn't want him with a championship.
Well, Takeshita's awesome. So if Jimmy Jacobs was holding him down, he needs to rethink some of his ideas. But yeah, what a fantastic match. Crowd was white hot. Kyle Fletcher comes in, double crosses Ospreay, and which, you know, I thought there was about a 50% chance of. And so yeah, we got Takeshita as the new international champion, which really, really fucked me over on my results because I think I had Ospreay winning and I put the majority of my confidence points behind Ospreay.
I think a lot of people did that.
I think so. I hope that my opponents did that as well. So, but Canada F and Dry, I'll start with you this time. What do you think of this match?
Wow, like this had some high octane spots. That pile driver that Takeshita did to Ricochet.
Oh, to the table?
To the table.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. I was worried about Ricochet.
And he did a great job of that. Not to interject here, but one thing, I'm glad you mentioned that because one thing I was going to mention earlier, Takeshita did that perfectly because when they jumped off the apron, he contorted Ricochet's body in midair to where his back took the bump, but it made it look like his neck took the bump. Brilliant by Takeshita.
Yeah, and that's the art of it is having me worry about him while he's absolutely fine.
We'll get to a spot later in a future match that I'm going to rip the shit out of, but
okay, which was not done as well.
Right.
But yeah, this was killer, and I think maybe you could move Ricochet. Sorry, not Ricochet. You can move Will to that world title scene pretty quick here.
I kind of wonder if that's what they're thinking here,
because with Danielson heading out to greener pastures.
Yeah, they need a new top baby face.
Yeah, Will Ospreay and Swerve are it right now.
Well, I also think Darby, they're going to try and put Darby in that spot.
The interesting, I don't know if you have it on the list with that backstage interview with Orange Cassidy.
Well, we can get to that
too.
Yeah. I think that'll show up on here.
Okay. Yeah. So amazing. The turn. They could have thought of something better than the hoodie. Like that was kind of silly. Just the hoodie.
Everybody knew who it was, anyways. Yeah. I mean, it's not some big mystery, you know.
One of Shivani goes, "That's him." What's his name again?
Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah, this is Fletcher. I was like, is that Fletcher?
You read the note too early, dummy.
Yeah. Fletcher.
Commissioner
Oh, yeah, it
Joe.
is Fletcher. Holy shit.
It's almost as bad as the third man call. Whose side is he on?
Now, interesting take on that is that I read a thing of Eric Bischoff that Bobby the Brain wasn't actually they didn't know what was going on in that.
Yeah, and if you think about it, throughout his tenure as a commentator, Bobby the Brain Heenan always insinuated that Hulk Hogan was actually really evil.
Yeah, he was a dick, and he's like,
Just stemming back to their feud of him feuding with the Heenan family in WWE. So I think it was just part of Heenan's shtick. I don't think he knew what was going on. I think he always wanted to paint Hogan as the bad guy, even when he was the baby face.
and it was just the wrong time to do it.
Yeah, it just happened to hit on that night where it just like ding, it was like a light bulb moment. But Joe, did we get your thoughts on the match? What do you have to say about it? Go ahead.
Shocker. I love this match. I thought it was fun. It was nonstop. I just have one criticism, and this is directed at Tony Khan. Quit turning all of your young people heel. This is why you have a lack of good faces in your company right now. You've turned Takeshita heel. You turned Kyle Fletcher heel. You've turned all of your women all heel.
Nick
Where
Wayne.
you had to now bring back Stat as a face, and everyone's mad. Everyone doesn't need to be a heel. You got to have some baby faces in your company.
We're going to have Hook beat up Taz eventually.
Well, Kyle Fletcher is not really a heel turn. He was already a heel with the.
No, he was very much acting as a face. He was very much a face for these last couple weeks with Will. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know if face as more of a Don Cal's family member who's also happens to be friends with Will Ospreay.
Ambiguity, my friends.
Yeah.
Either way, you need to get a better balance of faces and heels, or you're going to open yourself up to criticism from people saying, "Oh, you just turn into turn." When you need a baby face, like AEW doesn't need their own version of Big Show. Who just flip flops all the time for no reason.
It'd be funny
Don't really
if
have any flip floppers all the time.
it'd be funny if
Exactly.
Paul White came out and just started
from
turning heel and face every week.
I thought we should do a quiz show and like make up like on this day during this match was Big Show a face or a heel, and did he turn and why?
No, with that great. Anna Jay match with Harley Campbell, what was the deal with that? Why was that match happening? Because Anna Jay was supposed to be with the Outcasts.
I thought so, but I don't know.
I have no idea.
I think they said something about it, but I wasn't really paying attention.
I completely missed the match. Like whenever I turned on the 0 hour, that match was ending and Anna Jay was getting out of the ring. So I literally didn't even see it.
It was a good match. It was a good match.
They definitely started matches early.
Yeah.
Like the Brian Cage was it like after like 40 minutes, like at the 6:45. Like they definitely started before the half hour that they usually do where they just talk.
Brian Cage goes in his promo on Instagram. I'm this title is mine. You don't even go here.
Notable moments and observations. Ospreay has amazing ring jackets.
Yes.
Don Callis should just hang out at ringside. He's distracting on commentary, this person says. This grade from the Bleacher Report author who wrote this is A. So, there you go. Moving on. We got Hologram versus Beast Mortos, the Freshmaker. And for some reason, a 2 out of 3 falls match. I don't know why this is 2 out of 3 falls. Was there some story reason for this stipulation that you're aware of?
They seem to have said that in Mexico, this is very common for lucha libres to have 2 out of 3.
It's like the norm to be 2. Apparently, 2 out of 3 falls is norm.
It just seems so random.
That would get old really quick.
But I will say,
did you guys see the meme I put up the other day in chat? Mortos, attorney at RAR.
Yeah.
Saw that.
This was a really good match. I enjoyed this a lot. And I love Lucha Libre when it's just a one-on-one encounter. Like when it's not like an 8-person clusterfuck. Like I like when it's just one good Lucha guy versus one good Lucha guy. And this was an example of that. This reminded me of like old school Rey Mysterio versus Psychosis or something like that. You know, good one-on-one Americanized Lucha. Very good match, great spots. I thought it was great psychology. The one thing I'm going to pick on, can we please stop doing poison karanas on the damn apron? It's completely unnecessary. It's not impressive. It's stupid. You're going to break somebody's neck. Like, you can do big moves that look cool without potentially breaking the neck of your opponent. I just think
risk factor should not be there.
No, don't do moves on the apron like that. Just don't. The apron is the hardest part of the ring. I mean, BJ Whitmer a few years ago got completely fucked up because Mike Bennett did a pile driver on him on the apron in Ring of Honor. I don't know if either of you guys remember that. But we've got to stop this. Stop. Quit driving people's heads onto the apron. It's pointless. It's stupid. It's not impressive. Quit doing it. Rant over. But this was a fantastic match otherwise. Hologram ended up winning. These two guys are fantastic. I'm a fan of both of these guys, and I want to see more of them. Commissioner Joe, what do you think of this match?
Yeah, this was a fun Lucha Libre match. My only complaint is I would have had Toros get the Mortos get the first pin. I think it would have been better storytelling for Hologram to have that underdog come back, have to win 2 in a row. That's my only nitpick of this match. But yeah, like it was just fun, just nonstop, just Lucha, just go.
We got our man Rich.
What's up, Rich? How you doing?
What's up, buddy?
I was waiting for someone to say hi to him.
I was talking. My bad.
Now, see, Canada Dry, some hosts don't interrupt people every show. Canada Half a Dry, what'd you think of this match?
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
What do you think of this match, brother?
Yeah, it was really good. Like these guys put on a high octane performance. Like the stuff they did in that ring, some of it just made me go like, but most of it was done safely. Most of it.
Yeah.
When Hologram did that, the thing on he landed awkwardly. Yeah. They think they did that move like 6 times on this pay-per-view. And how many friggin' pile drivers do you need on this pay-per-view? Like everyone was doing a pile driver.
Yeah, they need to reel it in a little bit.
Yeah, like there's so many wrestling moves you can do. If he's already done a Poison Rana, maybe don't do it in your match. If he's already done pile drivers, maybe don't do it. But the pile drivers were excessive. The Poison Rana were excessive in the show. So that's my negative. But overall, though, the match was entertaining, and Hologram, Ian Mortos, this guy's good.
Yeah, very
good. Like you need a guy like Mortos as much as you need a guy like Hologram.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I agree. These two guys are dope. Let's see if they had any funny notes here.
Our friend Joshua Medrano.
Hey, what's going on, buddy? Welcome
in.
in.
Driver to hold for Miley was okay.
All right. I got beef with whoever wrote this article, Bleacher Report. Okay. Notable moments and observations. The reverse Rana on the apron was great. You motherfucker. I'm going to find out who wrote this article, and we're going to have a talking to.
He just wasn't great. It was dangerous. Soldier whole argument.
Well, no, you can counterpoint him, right?
I just think it was funny. Yeah. But anyways, Bleacher Report guy here gives this a B+. So
Joshua Mendano says, "Don't burn out the talent, Tony."
I agree, Joshua. I agree.
Is he a member since he has that little fancy?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
he signed up as a member.
Joshua, thank you for signing up and supporting us. Greatly appreciated.
Yeah, he signed up earlier during the Magic of Wrestling earlier today. So we're proud to have you as a member, buddy. Thank you. Rich Southwood says cage match, Isaacs versus journalism. Stick me in there with this guy and give us a cage match. I will take him down and choke his ass for saying that the Poison Rana was good on the apron.
I wonder if
I don't really mean that.
I wonder if the author of this article is actually a wrestling fan.
Let me scroll up to the top, see if it's got a name. I'm curious now. Let's see. I mean, this is Bleacher Report, so I mean, this is like Warner Brothers. So, this is written by a guy named Doc-Chris Moeller. Doc-Chris Moeller is this guy's name.
I think this would be a perfect opportunity for you to just say, "Fuck you, Mueller."
Fuck you, Moeller.
Yeah.
Don't Mr. Isaacs. Don't encourage the bad spots. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Now that we got that out of the way, let me get back to my spot here.
Joshua Medrano says, "Joined today. I'm glad to see episode 1 and review how AEW is growing." Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, next week we're going to be doing the same episode about WWE, so be sure to tune in for that, and we'll have the good, the bad, and the ugly about the 40-year reign of WWE.
And we got about like 12 podcasts we do on this channel, so you signed up to all of them. So
yeah, we got a good one tomorrow, and we got them all through the week, man. Check us out. We got Darby Allin versus Brody King.
Hold on, real quick. I found his profile. He is not a real doctor. He's just a writer.
Well, does it say he's like a sports journalist or something? Does it say anything at all?
I don't know. This is on Bleacher Report. It literally just says not a real doctor, just a writer. At @BR_doctor on Twitter.
You know what? I should tweet that motherfucker and just be like, "Hey, you." What if I did? Do you think he'd respond to me?
Do it.
What's the worst that happens? He sells you again. I mean, hey.
Now, he's saying he's a doctor, but he's not a real doctor.
Yeah, he just has it in his Twitter handle.
So whenever I would apply for like some stupid card that you get for some stupid company,
mm-hmm.
you need like 50 cards these days. I'd always reply, Dr. Aaron.
No.
So when I get this card that comes with doctor, and I was like,
See, I used to always want to get a PhD, and that's something I originally wanted to do. And I was just thinking, I was like, at this point, I don't think it would benefit me any, like, monetarily.
No.
But to be able to put doctor in my name would be so fucking cool. Like, to legit call myself doctor and be recognized as doctor for the rest of my life. Like, how
do you get an honorary doctorate?
Well, you'd have to be some kind of like.
You have to be famous or something.
You got to be some like public
be
figure
famous and donate a lot of money to the school.
Yeah,
a lot of work and hooey to get doctor in front of your name. Either way, it's a lot of work.
Like someone who's done like really well in business, or like a politician, or something. Like I know the University of Kentucky gave Senator Mitch McConnell an honorary PhD for some stupid reason. So I mean, they give it to like dignitaries.
Now, I've been watching this program. I believe it's on Prime somewhere,
okay.
And it is called "Look Into My Eyes." I mainly watched it because I thought of CM Punk's theme song. So
I literally started singing that in my head.
Yes, and it's a 4-episode documentary, and it's about this guy who had a doctorate in something education or something, and he's a principal of a high school, and he begins hypnotizing the students to help them.
Oh, geez.
Like he has good intentions for this.
Yeah.
But if you're getting hypnotized by a non-professional, you can do some serious psychological damage.
I can imagine.
And 2 ended up killing themselves.
Oh my God.
One got hypnotized himself and got in a car and crashed and killed himself.
Ugh.
Jeez.
And it's just this big mess that was left in his wake of being Prince. Like he got kind of a slap on the wrist. He got a big
Like probation or something.
Yeah, probation stuff because it wasn't intentional.
Right. There was no malice. In other words, it was just reckless but not malicious. Right.
Yeah. And the school district knew about it and they didn't do anything about it. So it's kind of on them too.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, they probably thought it was bullshit.
I'm a parent. I'm suing the school district. That's for sure.
And they did.
Mm-hmm.
And rightfully so.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's called willful endangerment of my kid. Fuck you.
Yep. We parents don't mess around, do we, Joe?
Not at all.
So apparently, like if you get hypnotized and you're depressed and you got some chemical imbalances where you're really down, that hypnosis can really endanger you because you become lucid to the thoughts of like following through with the suicides.
Wow, that's some crazy shit. That's very deep to bring up on a pro wrestling podcast. Thank you.
Especially when I'm falling asleep at 1 a.m.
Let's get back now to men play fighting in their underwear. All right.
Look in my eyes. What do you see?
Oh, geez. All right, we got Brody King versus Darby Allin. I love this match. It was brutal. Darby Allin just like flings himself at people like it's just nothing. And like I love that guy to death. Brody King is awesome. They did the perfect big strong man versus little guy with a lot of heart that just won't give up. Like, I thought this was fantastic. I really enjoyed this match a lot. It was brutal. I'm kind of wondering what's up with the no House of Black influencer presence here. Like, there was no House of Black style entrance or anything. Like, I thought that was peculiar. It was interesting.
Yeah.
Like almost like they're having Brody King move on from that for some reason. That's weird, but it was a damn good match. Darby Allin ends up winning, and they shake hands at the end, which is very interesting as well. Kenneth and John, what'd you think of all this?
My favorite spot is the spot where Darby throws Brody King onto the sides of the stairs. And just, I was so impressed that a big man like Brody King can just take an easy knock like that. And like some of the spots that Brody King did, like Darby's going to get all the credit for this, but I think Brody King deserves his flowers as well because he did such a great job in so many different spots on this. It was very entertaining, and I did like the camaraderie at the end.
For sure. Commissioner Joe, wax poetic about King versus Allin.
Yeah, this was another great match. I mean, I went on record last week, the week before, saying whoever accepted this open challenge should beat Darby. I think it would have been better storytelling, but seeing what happens at the end of the show, I get why he won. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Can we please keep Darby away from steel steps and the edges of steps? Please. I'm so tired of seeing him, like, even just remotely come to his spine coming to the steps. Like, it gives me the willies every time. Like, I get it. You don't care if you're wrestling in 20 years. I'm fairly certain you care if you're walking in 20 years, though.
I don't even know if he does.
He should.
I think
I don't know, though, man. Those
yeah, they're crazy.
Those
I will say it's also impressive that
mindset.
Darby is so committed to the gimmick that he wears his face paint while skating at the skate park.
Well, he he admires Gigi Allen. That's who he's named after. And that guy was just like a really, really reckless piece of shit. So, like, yeah. You know,
Gigi Allen, a skater.
Gigi Allen was a punk rock musician.
Okay.
Look him up. He had a lot of, not a very good guy. And he is named after him, and so is Gigi Dolan, you know, his ex-girlfriend who used to be Priscilla Kelly. Yeah. So she took one half of his name, and Darby took the other half of the guy's name.
Yeah.
So
part of me wonders if they really are moving Brody on from House of Black, which I don't think so. Maybe for the war that's coming, there's a loose connection.
Where are they?
I don't know.
Like, why do these guys? It bugs the shit out of me. Why do these guys just disappear for like 2 or 3 months? Like, where are they? No explanation given. They're just gone.
And Brody King.
I know. What's his name, Buddy? I know he's like the champion in Australia, so maybe he just had some prior commitments over there. Like, I think it was Melbourne City wrestling champion or something like that.
Okay.
And Brody King was saying that Julia Hart is close to coming back. So looks like maybe they want everyone to kind of come back together.
Maybe just do a big reunite on a Dynamite or something.
It would make sense. It was just very interesting to me that there was no House of Black style entrance or anything for Brody King. Very interesting. But Bleacher Report gives us a grade of a B.
Hold on, because can I say something real quick? Because it's going to bug me if I can't.
Go
Can we
ahead.
jump back to the Ricochet match real quick? I just want to make a quick comment.
Sure.
You all said you wanted to see Ospreay go to the world title match scene. I hope before that, I hope we get a little tag team between him and Ricochet versus like the Callis family.
Yeah. That's probably where they're going with this, I would assume.
Yeah, sorry, we could come back to present. I just wanted to say that because it was making my brain itch if I didn't say it out loud.
Well, I mean, that's the most logical thing to Kashta and Fletcher against Ospreay and Ricochet. I assume is going to be the next thing they're doing. Yeah.
Like, this makes me wonder if Fletcher's tag team partner is ever coming back. Like,
yeah, I think Fletcher's moved on from him. Like, I can't see them going back to being Aussie Open now. I think Kyle Fletcher's moved well beyond his partner.
But I think you could.
Eddie.
But I think you could. He's a big guy.
He is.
So you could repackage him too in the Don Callis family.
Yeah.
Or maybe have them feud.
Sure. Yeah.
You could have what's his name be stuck in the middle between Will and Kyle.
Yeah, that would be perfect for him to kind of establish his own sort of identity.
And knowing Tony Khan, he'll just have him turn on Will in 3 months.
That's what would happen. Yes, I'm quite confident that's what would happen.
Tony Khan, what you doing to me, bruv?
Tony Khan, give me any partners, bruv. All right, moving on.
Ricochet in this. The Ricochet looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How cool would and this is gonna make like our pal Haney's head explode, but how cool would it be if Ricochet and Ospreay wrestled the Bucks?
I want that. I want a Bucks versus an Ospreay and Ricochet. Just give me an old school PWG style.
Talk about a crazy throw the kitchen sink at you style match. It would be that.
So did we skip the Swerve interview? It was supposed to be after the Ricochet thing.
Yeah, it definitely was after the Ricochet match. Bleacher Report screwing up, not keeping everything straight.
Another reason why I need to tweet this asshole. Yeah, they don't have a mention of that in here, but we can circle back to that. So yeah, Prince Nana comes out. He's in the ring,
hawking his coffee.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out Prince Nana coffee. I might have to order me a bag of that. If it's a real thing, I don't know if it's a real. I assume it's a real product, right? I don't know. Joe's gonna look it up. He'll confirm. Joe's our fact checker. You know, like Joe Rogan has young Jamie on his podcast. We've got Commissioner Joe. He fact checks us.
Oh yeah,
live on the
I
air.
always gotta have someone fact checking me.
Yeah, so that's good. So he's going to check on that.
It is a legit website.
Awesome, Prince Nana, the entrepreneur. I like it.
So that's when he started drinking the coffee because he wanted to hawk the coffee.
Yeah, he's like, buy my coffee.
He's got quite a bit of selection on here.
I'm going to check that out. If it's affordable, I might seriously buy some.
He sells teas as well.
Oh, nice.
Damn straight he's going to bump the price because he's Prince Nana.
Not really. It ranges from like $23 to $28 a bag. That's normal for like brand coffee. So
yeah, for like premium blend coffees. Yeah. That shit gets expensive because it's bougie. It's bougie coffee.
Now, what if you did buy it? We'd have to get you to maybe try it on the show and give you a rating of this.
Oh, absolutely. I'd be more than happy to do that. Yeah. Let me look into it. We'll see if we can if we can make that happen.
The website's got pumpkin, it's got candy cane, like it's got the seasonal flavors out already too. So.
Oh hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah.
Tiffany Trim has a request. She wants you to buy her some.
Miss Trim, what kind of coffee do you like? I'm curious. My coffee.
I don't think she drinks coffee. I think she drinks Mountain Dew.
She does, but maybe
she's Mountain Dew to filter coffee.
Mountain Dew.
Could you imagine brewing a pot of coffee using Mountain Dew? Well, they make Mountain Dew energy drinks, so I don't know.
Pumpkin and vanilla. So she likes these Starbucks drinks.
Okay.
We call that here on the East Coast basic.
Basic white bitch. Basic white bitch.
Are you a basic white bitch? Okay, I'll also trade. Oh,
and she wants s'mores in it too, as well.
I was gonna say my favorite coffee. I like Cafe Bustelo. It's a Cuban coffee. So if you go down the coffee aisle, you see the tin can that's like all yellow with a red stripe on it.
Okay.
You've probably seen that if you've gone down the aisle. It's Cafe Bustelo. It's an extremely rich, dark coffee. It'll wake, if that doesn't wake you up, nothing on earth will. But I love it. That's my favorite kind of coffee. What kind of coffee do you guys like before we move on?
I don't drink coffee.
Okay.
My wife does.
I like a very strong medium blend coffee.
Okay.
It's a brand out here in BC called Kicking Horse.
Ooh.
It comes from the Kicking Horse Mountains.
Nice.
And
my wife has been on a Seattle's Best.
Oh, yeah.
Seattle's Best is not that good.
I've had it before. Yeah.
McDonald's used to carry Seattle's Best.
Yeah. It's one of those kind of like quote unquote premium like chain blends. It's not really premium, but they kind of make it like it is, you know.
At the time, it was like the cheapest that was on sale. So
But I bought a Guatemalan blend Starbucks. So I really like Guatemalan coffee.
Mm-hmm.
When I was there, I fell in love with it. The blend is just so nice. But if you haven't had Guatemalan coffee, give it a shot.
Oh, okay. I'll have to see if I can find that. Yeah, like I said, the Cuban coffee is just like, it'll make your head explode. It's got so much caffeine. It's like the Latin American countries, like their coffee's the shit. All right.
They don't have regulations like we do.
Their coffee's the shit. So
anyway, back to Prince Nana in the ring.
Yes.
Anyway,
that was a side trail and a half.
Prince Nana's in the ring, and he asked whose house it was about 15 times, and Swerve comes out, does his thing, and they give a little speech and everything, and MVP shows up as we figure he would. MVP shows up with Shelton Benjamin, gets in the ring. Long story short, he makes Swerve an offer. Swerve rejects it, says Nana is his family. Shelton Benjamin gets in his face and says, "You don't understand. We weren't asking you. We're telling you that you're going to be part of us." And they kind of get into a little shoving match. I kind of expected to see Bobby Lashley here, but I guess that's going to be down the road a little bit. I guess first Swerve's probably going to wrestle Shelton Benjamin. And then after he beats him, then Lashley's probably going to show up and be the final boss, I guess, so to speak. No pun intended. But yeah, I thought this was a pretty cool little segment. They kind of harken back to old school WWE days when Swerve wrestled MVP. They brought that up, which was kind of cool.
And the Defy, which was right down the road from where they were.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. Commissioner Joe, what are your thoughts on this?
I thought this was very well placed, first off, to give the crowd a chance to cool down from that triple threat match.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. Just part of me thought, like, Swerve was going to come out to the ring and just kick Nana's head off right from the jump. Like, and even still, like, I don't know if you catched it, but at the end of that thing, he even teased it. Like, he pretended to super kick him and then gave him a hug. Like, there was just so much where Prince Nana had his back to Swerve, and I was just like, oh, here it comes.
No.
I thought for sure we were getting it, but maybe that's a little foreshadow for later on down the road. I don't
Joining the Hurt Syndicate.
My question is, though, who is Swerve going to get on his side?
I don't know.
I don't know if he needs anyone.
He's going to, because I imagine it's Sheldon and then Bobby. And I can't imagine they're going to bring someone in from the, like, maybe Powerhouse Hobbs or something. Swerve is going to be outnumbered. He has to be. He's the baby face. It's how it works.
You think they'd bring in like Top Flight or somebody?
No.
I don't know.
I mean, it'd probably be other black wrestlers, I would assume.
See, like, that's my problem. Like, Triple H has that problem because he's been blasted for it. But even Tony Khan has this problem of you put all your black wrestlers here, you put all your Latino wrestlers here. Guys, they're allowed to be commingled. It's okay.
But who do you think would side with Swerve, though?
I mean, I guess that's the problem, too. He's
like Swerve kayfabe doesn't have any friends.
He's alienated everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can't get Cage or...
Like, we don't have the Mogul Embassy anymore.
They're gone, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Maybe you can call that guy that had the tattoos all over his face. Maybe you can call him.
The guy Jay Lethal trained. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. The guy was part of the original
the guy that looked like a jacked up Tom McDonald.
But yeah, I thought that Swerve did a really good job of teasing the turn on.
He did. He did a fantastic job
because you felt that intensity from across the TV screen. You're like, is he going to? And that's exactly what he wanted you to feel. And he didn't do it. Was very, very, very subtle, where he just did enough movements to make you think this. And I find that the whole segment was very well done. I loved his props to Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah.
But I thought that was so cool. Like when I was 12 years old, I was looking up at you and you paved the way for all of us black wrestlers.
Yeah. Very cool.
I wish we could have had a camera on Max Caster crying in the background.
Yeah, like to me, like this was such a good moment for black wrestling. Shelton Benjamin never, ever got the proper flowers he deserved in WWE.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that he finally got it here.
I agree with that 100%. Yep. I'd like to think that Shelton Benjamin went backstage when he first got there and went to Max Caster and be like, "What's up, bitch? You got something you want to say to me?"
Yeah, right.
What is this conversation like between them when they first talk? Like,
I don't know, man.
Awkward as fuck or what?
It's got to be. I mean, Benjamin's an old school guy, and he's a legit shooter. Like, I can't imagine that he would just take too kindly if Caster just like snubbed him. You know, like I don't know.
I can see him like, let me go get my friend Brock, and we can have another discussion.
Yeah, him and Brock used to be roommates.
Yeah, they were roommates at University of Minnesota.
Yep.
Minnesota, whatever it's called.
I don't think he needs to go get Brock. He just has to bring in Bobby.
Yeah. I mean, Shelton's a legit wrestler himself. I mean, he could take him down, beat the fuck out of him, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't think he needs Bobby to take down Max.
No, not at all. I'm glad he's there, though.
You
I
just
like
have Bobby stand outside the door and don't let anybody in.
Yeah, like the meme of the guy who's like gatekeeping the door.
Yep.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm looking forward to Bobby in AEW because I was always a big Bobby Lashley guy. I wanted him to be the legit guy for a little bit, a nice run as world champion. He never got that. He got these little piddly runs.
Yeah, he had a couple of flashes in the pan. Yeah.
I just hope he doesn't do that god awful spear because it is the worst thing.
Oh, he will.
It is the worst.
I mean, that's the thing.
The Dominator. There's enough small guys here in AEW you can manhandle. Bring the Dominator back. That was such a vicious move.
The Dominator's awesome. Yeah, I agree. I like the Dominator. Yeah, his spear was kind of a little wonky. Yeah.
It's barely a spear. It's more like him just doing a front shoulder roll.
Yeah, like he would make contact with him with the shoulder and then he would roll forward. Yeah. So I mean, it wasn't like a spear. It wasn't like the gore from Rhino. I'm not going to say the spear from Goldberg. I respect my friend Aaron over here, but the gore from Rhino.
And you know who else you respect? You respect Mr. Isaacs. You're not a Goldberg guy.
No.
Did you ever hear the story what Rhino said about the gore?
What's that?
He said no one has ever kicked out of the gore. Because anyone who did, it was a spear. It wasn't a gore.
I love that. Rhino's cool, man. I saw that Rhino's wrestling an indie show like here somewhere in Kentucky. I thought about trying to go to that.
Nice.
But that's a topic for another time. Anyways, the next match, we got the Young Bucks versus Private Party. And by this point, I know you guys are going to disagree with me, but I kind of felt like the show was getting a little long at this point. And I think the crowd agreed because the crowd was really not that into this match. Which is a shame because this was actually a really good match. It was entertaining. Good match. I mean, these two teams work really well together. They put on a very classic match in one of the very first Dynamites, if you remember. They just tore the house down. Yeah.
Second show. Yeah.
I still remember that match. It was fantastic.
Mine was shocking because the Bucks lost.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when the Bucks were losing to people. It doesn't really happen much now. But yeah, this was a really good match. I enjoyed it. I did not in any way think that the Bucks are going to lose this. In fact, I should have put all my confidence points behind them because there was no way in hell they were losing this. I have no idea who's on the horizon that's going to beat the Bucks. I mean, they've beaten FTR 100 times. They beat the Acclaimed 100 times. I just don't know what other tag teams are in AEW that's going to beat the Bucks. Like, I have no idea. But
if they would sign GYV, they could do it.
Grizzled Young Vets.
Yeah, but they're not signed. They were just like working with FTR on like a per appearance deal, apparently.
Yeah. See, I don't think they're even big enough. I really don't.
Well, you could build them up to do it.
I mean, honestly, you know who it's probably going to be? The Golden Lovers. Kenny and Kota.
How's Kota Ibushi's health?
He's good. And he did an interview that said Kenny is about 2 to 3 months out from being able to wrestle again, which puts him, ironically, January, right? Wrestle Dynasty.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a very compelling theory, and I think that's very plausible. We might see the Golden Lovers end up taking the titles from the Young Bucks, which would be cool. I'd like to see that.
It would be cool, but like, it doesn't really help the tag division. Like, build up a star.
Like I think that's why you do this, and then you use this time between now and January. Yeah. You can build up teams without them being directly involved in a tag title.
That's true.
I'm going to start campaigning now. The Outrunners champions. 2025.
Absolutely. They better win the titles at some point.
So, speaking of campaigning, Caleb Bain has been in my inbox quite a few
the
last little bit. And,
we want to get inside baseball here.
So the thing is that I told him in order for you to get back into chats is the only way is if you're voted back in by the AFW League competitors. So I told him if you're gonna get them to vote you, you got to start making some video promos, telling them why they should vote you back in.
Oh, jeez.
And so we're gonna see a campaign from Caleb Bain to get back in the chat.
All right. I'm gonna start getting.
Commissioner Joe is not impressed right now.
I'm gonna start getting robocalls at 3:00 in the morning if Caleb asking me to vote yes.
I'm not impressed because it's real life issues that is going on. There's a reason why he's not in the chats.
Yeah,
and I need to see that legitimate remorse,
Yeah,
because what he said some not so kosher things.
Yeah.
Well, the problem though is the rough thing about it, and maybe this isn't the place for it.
Do we want to get that deep into this? I mean, if you want to, go ahead. But I don't know.
Well, the thing was it all wasn't in our chat, so that's the only problem. It's like it's happened somewhere else.
Yeah,
and someone said it happened, and we don't actually know what. It's hearsay.
Right.
Well, with that said, make it happen, Caleb. Come on. You can do it. I got faith in you.
Yeah. Well, we will see what happens. I'm a big fan of Caleb. I love that kid. And, I hope he's learned a valuable lesson from this. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, you just gotta tread lightly and be sensitive of people's feelings.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Bleacher Report gives this match a B+. Notable moments and observations. They've got some really stupid ones here. Referencing a win from 5 years ago is a very Jericho thing to do. Matt's pearl necklaces are pretty funny.
They were pretty funny.
And the rest of them were just pretty
Did
average.
we skip Jericho and
Nope, it's next.
I don't even think I gave my thoughts on this match, did I? I don't think so.
Well, go ahead. What'd you think of it?
I think honestly, I think the thing that impressed me the most was the Bucks, for the first half of this match, they weren't the Bucks. They were just a ground-based, grinded out, slow down. Because that match, it felt really slow, ring work wise at times. And I was like, this is interesting because I'd absolutely never think of the Bucks as a grinded out team.
Yeah.
Obviously they picked it up, but this is another spot where I thought freaking Mark Quinn was going to turn on Isaiah.
I did too.
They was lingering on that for a long time.
I did too. I'm glad you mentioned that because I'd kind of forgotten to mention that. But yeah, I was like, is he going to turn on him? Is that what's going to happen here?
Do you think this is a hint, or is this just something you guys misconstrued?
I thought
I don't think so.
I think if they were going to do the turn, they would do it now. But they kept going to Stokely Hathaway sitting in the crowd watching them. So I imagine he's going to recruit them and be their man.
He's already tried and they've shot him down once.
Yeah. He's going to keep going after him.
They need to have him with someone because he doesn't have stat anymore.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be Stokely. Stokely's going to be their manager.
Yeah.
I think what I would love to see is for the next week or two, just vignettes of Private Party being down and self-doubt. And then in 3 weeks, you just have Stokely come in and be like, I told you guys, come on, let me lead you.
All right. Let's see if we can get through this kind of quickly because it's 1:30 in the morning.
Yep.
I just now realized that. I'm glad my kids aren't here so I can sleep in. But okay, the next match we got Mark Briscoe versus Chris Jericho for the Ring of Honor World Championship. This match was good. I do feel that this was kind of. I think this maybe should have been one of the opening matches instead of right before the main event because this was just all right. I think they put on a good show. I like how Mark Briscoe kind of hulked up towards the end of the match, almost Hulk Hogan-esque, and beat the shit out of Jericho and ended up getting a clean win over Chris Jericho, which I like that. I think that was pretty cool. So I don't know if maybe they're going to do it. I could see them possibly doing a rematch in a couple months at Final Battle.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. I don't know if maybe they're going to plan on putting the title on Jericho, which would be his second time, right? Because the first time he had it, Claudio took it.
Yep.
But I don't know. We'll see. I thought this was an okay match. I thought it should have been earlier on the show.
Yep.
Maybe even in 0 hour, to be honest with you, because it's Ring of Honor. But Canada Dry, what do you think of this?
I thought it's probably one of the worst matches on the card, I think.
It was probably the worst, in my opinion. Yeah.
It wasn't horrible. Like, it wasn't something like, I can't watch, but it was just like, it didn't have that strong, this is like an important match kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Maybe this could have been earlier maybe after the second match. I maybe put it there instead. I think you maybe even could have had Will Ospreay lead up to the main event.
Yeah.
And then have Swerve come up in between, and then you have the world title.
I think that'd be logical.
But
honestly, I think this match could have fit on 0 hour, to be honest with you.
Or Dynamite.
Yeah. Commissioner, what do you think?
I agree with you. I think the match was fine. I would love to see a run back at Final Battle. Makes sense. I mean, unless they have something else going on ROH, I wouldn't know because I'm not paying for it. But
Mr. Isaac, what did the rating for this one get?
Mr. Bleacher Report man gave this a B-. So he's rated this the poorest match so far.
Yeah, I would say it's probably a C+, a B-.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair for this. I do.
All I know is Jericho, when he hit that J Driller, I was like, oh, like he's just being something extra tonight.
For notable moments and observations, he said, "This is one of Jericho's better performances in 2024. He looked spry." That was the note. So
I guess by that comment, he actually does watch wrestling.
He looks spry. A spry young gentleman, Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
You know, he just has a thesaurus, like thesaurus.com up.
No, he's got AI. He writes, this was a good match, and then it's AI. Oh,
yeah. He had Chat GPT tell him that Chris Jericho was a young spry wrestler.
Yes.
That's what it
Back
was.
in 2019.
2019 and 1999.
Still 50.
He was young and spry in 1999. How about that? All right. We got the main event, guys. We're finally at the apex of this 18-hour long show. Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. And the main event started at roughly 11:20 p.m. Eastern time. So the note here says that the crowd was showing signs of fatigue, but still excited for the match. I love the fact that the final countdown played.
Yes.
And even though Moxley jumped him before the match started, they allowed the final countdown to play all the way through to the end. I love that. I thought that was fantastic.
That's called getting your money's worth.
Yes. Of course. What can I say? You guys know I love Danielson. This was a great match. Great match. I thought they worked really well together. I thought Moxley, used some technical jiu-jitsu style grappling to counter Danielson's, pro wrestling style grappling. I just thought they gelled really well together. I mean, it was violent. It was technical. It was wild. Marina Shafir looked hot as hell and kept getting involved in this match and ended up getting thrown out, obviously. But
Let me just say this. She's no Kat Dennings.
Would it be funny if Kat Dennings was there on the front row after we mentioned her earlier?
Yeah, Canada Dry was right. This AEW is great.
They kind of did like a Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, I'm sorry, super kick and put you out to pasture. They kind of did that same moment too, where Mox asked Danielson, "Don't make me do it." don't make me do it. And then, proceeded to hit him with a pile driver and a choke. And, Danielson ends up losing due to ref stoppage. Moxley ends up getting the win. A little bit of an anticlimactic end of the match, but I understand it. I kind of thought there'd be a little more fuckery involved. But the remaining BCC guys and Pac come out, and they obviously start beating down Danielson. Danielson, again, sold better than anybody imagined. He sold dying of suffocation again.
Yeah.
Which is
chair
tremendous.
stomp.
Yep, chair stomp. Wheeler Yuta comes in. He betrays him. I figured that was going to happen. When Darby ran in to save him and Wheeler came in behind him, I was like, Wheeler's going to attack Darby. Yeah, we know this. When you watch wrestling for like 500 years, you know the psychology of who's going to turn and win. Darby Allin gets duct taped to the ropes, and Claudio crushes Danielson's neck with a chair. We talked about Yuta with the plastic bag over Danielson, suffocated him to death. And I thought the emotion of this was fantastic. I thought it was great storytelling. This was an Empire Strikes Back kind of ending where the bad guys win. An excellent story where the bad guys win, and we'll see where it goes moving forward. I thought it was a nice touch to have the locker room come out. Jeff Jarrett comes out, tries to make a save, gets his ass beat. Private Party ends up coming out.
Also,
and then eventually
all the guys that are like not at the top of the card.
Yeah. Jarrett made sense because he had like those little interactions with Danielson. And, I thought that he got a huge pop when he ran out too. Fans were excited to see Jeff Jarrett. I just thought this was brilliant storytelling. I liked it a lot. I would have liked to have seen Shane McMahon or whoever is the puppet pulling the strings of John Moxley to show up, but I guess they're kicking the can down the road on that before we find out any further. But they put the AEW championship in a duffel bag and escaped through the crowd to end the show. And Excalibur, I don't know if he was just acting really well, but he was crying at the end of the show on commentary. I don't know if either one of you caught that or not.
I did not.
He was choked up and he was crying. Now, I don't know if this was kayfabe or if it was legit, but you could hear him choked up at the end of the show crying. Closing.
Yeah, and it was an interesting end to the show because they just had him go off and like, oh, I hope that, and it just like then the show's just over.
It was an Empire Strikes Back ending. Man.
I think this ending was absolutely brilliant.
I loved it. Yeah,
because for one, it takes me back to like the old school WCW pay-per-view days where it's like you have to tune in on the next weekly show to see what's going on. I just want to point out a few other details.
Sure.
I think the first one is with Nigel actually showing concern for Danielson. I thought was brilliant.
Did a great job putting him over. Like, okay, guys, I know I don't like him, but this is a little too far. Yeah.
And then,
which is like this asshole is even concerned.
They did a great job selling this. Great job.
Remsburg at the end, when he calls for the bell, he's like, oh no, I just ended the career of Bryan Danielson. Like you could just see the dread on his face. Perfect. For as much flack as some of the AEW officials get, Remsburg, like he knows how to put that emotion in the big field matches.
Right.
And I feel like the crowd, they were just like, what?
Oh, you could just hear all the suck out of the room.
It's not like your team just lost the championship in the game 7 of the final.
I know that feeling because I'm a Ravens fan and I've had my heart broken more times than I can think of.
I think we've all kind of had that feeling with
Joe. The Ravens were supposed to stop the Taylor Swift show last year and they failed.
Well, honestly, like the first time it really happened was against the year before the Ravens won the Super Bowl in 08 and 07 when they were up in New England and our kicker missed that field goal. Like that ripped me because we were the better team and we should have won.
Yeah.
So, I think that the air just sucked out of the room, and it was just like there was this little bit of disbelief, kind of like when Undertaker beat got lost to Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
It's very similar feel. They should have got some camera looks on some of the people.
They needed Ellis Beebe sitting in the front row with the.
Yeah. They should have got some cameras. Like WWE is really good for that.
Yeah.
Getting the fan reactions.
Yep.
I don't think AEW's ever been like focusing on the fans.
Mm.
No, they focus more on in ring.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I am really curious to see what happens on Wednesday. Like this is like for me, I think this may be one of the most important dynamites they ever do. Like they really need to.
It's gonna be a heck of a reset in some capacity. Yeah.
So we still don't have a name for this group.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to call them.
I don't know.
Will they tell us more about this? About what the
Higher power.
what the higher power? What the plan is? Because they're like teasing this plan. I don't want to do this. I have to do this.
Yeah.
Higher power. It was me, Austin. It was me all along.
What if it's Shane and he does this? It was me all along. It does the whole bit with Shane.
I'm here for it, dude. I hope to God it's Shane McMahon. I
hope it is either.
Yeah, I think it is. I am unabashedly a huge Shane McMahon fan. I always have been. I love that dude.
The only thing bad about Shane McMahon is his punches.
Yeah.
His punches.
The guy, I mean, the guy will like throw himself through panes of glass like Darby Allin just to put on a show, and he's good on the mic. Yeah. He knows the business. I mean,
the other bad thing is like he takes 2 steps and he's sweating like a hog.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not
takes 2 steps and he's injured his quads.
Yeah, I think maybe don't have him wrestle. Maybe just get mildly physically involved, but not actually wrestle.
He probably isn't capable of wrestling at this age.
Yeah.
Come on now. It's Shane. You know, if you throw a cage in front of him, he's climbing up and jumping off. No, but he should just be the voice.
He should. Yeah. And that's all he needs to be. That's all he needs to be is just the voice. Yeah. I think it'd be very reminiscent of when Eric Bischoff unexpectedly showed up as the GM of Raw. I think it would be that. I think it'd probably be more shocking than that. Yeah. So.
Yeah, if they had some sort of takeover, because Moxie's saying this isn't your company anymore. They did some sort of takeover story.
I'm down for it. They already have the world title and the trios titles. I mean,
absolutely. But so you guys both gave your thoughts on the aftermath. But what do you think of the actual match itself? Do you want to give me comments on the match?
The match was phenomenal. Like. The ending was a bit abrupt.
Yeah.
It seemed to come out of nowhere. But every time you get a Danielson match, it's going to be good. So I think that the ending kind of stole the focus of the spotlight because all you kind of remember is that last part.
I think that's by design. I think that's the way Danielson wants it. Danielson is obviously retiring, so he's like, now it's time to push the focus on to what goes for the company, not me.
So do you guys think this is truly the end of Danielson?
Full-time,
I think
yes.
I'll think he'll come back at a couple big shows later this year.
I think when he gets the itch to wrestle, he'll come back for like All In, big All In. I think he will come back every once in a while. I don't think I don't. Does anyone ever truly retire?
No.
And to be fair, they have been very clear to say this is the end of my full-time in-ring career. So he's leaving that door open to come back whenever he wants.
Mr. Part-Timer. I'm here for it. He can be part-time, wrestle once a year. It's still going to be a treat. I'm concerned about the guy, though, because what he was saying about the neck issues and not being able to feel his legs in the Okada match, like that's concerning.
Hopefully he takes like a year and a half off. Go fully heal. Let your body rest.
Yeah.
But you know what? That all could have been a work to sell the pay-per-view, like lead people up. I don't know.
I don't think so.
He's a worker, man. He sells his ass off.
I mean, he does. He's also gone on record said he needs neck surgery by the end of the year.
Yeah.
So
So I think it's really late for you guys. So I think we should just give our rating.
Yeah.
And call it a show.
I will. Just for the record, Bleacher Report gave that match a B+. So
a B+.
He sucks. He's out of his mind.
That's an A match.
That is an absolute. That's an A just in storytelling alone.
What was the match he gave an A to earlier? Let me look and see. I'm curious now. Let's see. Oh, he gave the triple threat for the international championship. He gave that an A. So,
yeah,
all right. That's okay, but the main event should have been an A as well.
Absolutely.
So for me, you guys know before I even say it, Danielson and Moxley is my match of the night, and I'm going to give this show 4.5 bills. Thought it was really good. Thought it was amazing. A little bit long for me, but it was an amazing show. Commissioner Joe, what about you?
Yeah, like everything was almost every match on this was great. Like I don't have very many complaints, but yeah, I think just for the story alone, I got to go with the main event because it has me hooked. I want to know what happens next. Yeah. And I'm going as well. 4.5 bells. Like great show. So go ahead, Canada Dry. Give us your 4.51.
I'm giving this 4.79. I think it was really good. I think like everyone performed better than expected. The show was always just gel so well together. Yeah. It's not quite a 5. You have to really do well to get a 5. But you had 3 title changes on this card. What I didn't see any happening at all.
Yeah, I didn't either, except for the world title.
Yeah, but that's a good thing.
Yeah.
How many times have we sit there and said, "Oh, we know this, and this"? So,
absolutely. All right, what does that make our cumulative score, Mr. Joe?
4.6.
That's good. I got a damn good program.
Absolutely.
Canada Dry, I will hand it over to you, my friend, for the closing festivities.
So, as you know, sometimes in life, shit just knocks the fuck out of you. You're just left like I don't know how to say anything better, but like sometimes life just knocks you on your ass, and it's okay to be down. It's not okay to stay down because it's easy to just accept this is where I am now. But no, you don't have to wallow. You got to reach out for help. You got to reach out to your community, reach out to your church, reach out to medical professionals that can help you with this sort of thing. And if you need the right medication, hey, then you should probably be on it. So put the devil in a sharpshooter and say it with me, just keep fighting. Now, where the hell's that outro?
Find that damn outro.
Where the hell's that outro?
This has been an effing worldwide media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effing wrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, effingwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it.